turn off my in-game audio. So I could just click that off and I'll click private.
I have the YouTube page up and it doesn't show it live yet.
Yeah, give it probably 30 seconds or so. Hopefully this should go live then.
Oh, there it is.
I go to audio and then turn game chat off.
All right, welcome everybody to USRA round 3 here at Brands Hatch. We're about to go green here. The pace car will be running off in just a few seconds. I'll go ahead and introduce myself. I am Miles Gilsinger, your commentator for tonight. We have Tyler here as well. So you are not hearing your normal voice of John Ross, the legendary voice here. So Tyler, what do you think about tonight? How do you think our competitors are going to handle these curves and honestly this nice flowing circuit?
I think it's going to be real interesting. Last week we did have a first and a pro sport driver winning the overall, outpacing all of the pro drivers. Pro sport fast in qualifying. It's going to be interesting to see if they can hold it together though. With some of these sweeping corners, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for people to get inside of each other, and we might have some fireworks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, last week, like you said, it's kind of a surprise that we had a pro sport win. That there was a little bit of argy-bargy with the cautions and more or less a little bit of pace difference too. Absolutely. As we're kind of thinking here, we're trying to figure out pace and classifications. After this third round here, we will have possibilities of promotions and demotions. So absolutely, people here are working their way to figure out what class they're going to be in for the rest of the season. And then also, funny enough, we're going to have a chance for them to change their manufacturer as well.
Right. Anyone who's struggled so far this season with their car, aka me, the first round of the year, there's the opportunity for them to switch and carry that vehicle through the rest of the season. We see here that the pace laps have started. I believe we're doing 2 pace laps tonight, extra time for the drivers to get some heat in their tires. So we will see what happens. Like you mentioned earlier, we have had some pro sport drivers be fast in qualifying, and last week with all the incidents and chaos that we had, so we did have one overall. So it's interesting to see if this happens again tonight, or if a pro is going to take the win.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Tyler, I tell you what, one person that we have coming in back, from kind of a hiatus here is we got Ernie France Jr. coming in, last year's champion. So we're kind of throwing a little bit of wrench in here and seeing, how he does. Now, here's the fact that people don't understand. We have changed the drop race situation. Originally, we had 1 drop race in our 10-race season. Now we have 2. So this brings a whole perspective back into Ernie having a chance to repeat as champion in the pro division.
It does. Him stepping out the first 2 races of this season to do some real life racing, it opened up the window for other pros to step up and take the top spot. So let's see if Ernie can come back in and reinstate the dominance that he showed last season.
Yeah, absolutely. Us at USRA, we definitely like to lend our drivers, for the real world. Obviously, we want the priority to be here, but we understand that we have to lend them out every once in a while.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't have them caged up in their sim rig every Thursday night.
Okay, like we said, we're going to do 2 pace laps here, so this gives the opportunity for the drivers to get a little bit more heat in their tires. Recently with iRacing, we had a new tire. I'd say, last season, that's when that was implemented. So this gives them a little bit more time, get comfortable with the car, understand, are the tires getting warm, are they where they want them to be? Maybe through a corner, just see if we get a little bit of slippage, see where you're at. This definitely builds the confidence for them as they go into turn 1. So I'm excited to see a little bit higher temps in the tire department. See how they do.
It is. With an extra warm-up lap here, we'll see, like you just mentioned, if we get some more heat in the tires, less skittish going into T1, we might get to see some great racing right off the bat here on the first lap. I know when I was out there, first lap, try to take it easy and not get in an incident because the tires were cold. But with these, with the new tire model and like you said, the additional laps to warm them up here, hopefully we get some racing right off the bat. As we're about halfway through our second pace lap here.
Sorry, everybody. We're going to be extending this by one pace lap here. We had a little bit of an issue, a little technical issue, but well, like I said, this gives one more chance for them to get those tires warm, and let's get to racing. We're excited here.
On board here with Ernie Francis Jr., the only Lamborghini in the field. He does drive Lamborghinis in real life, so let's see if he can pull that over. I know he did run the Porsche last season, stepping into the Lamborghini this season to change things up. I am interested to see if he's going to be as fast as he was last season with the dominance, or if the new players in the field are going to step up and outshine him here.
Yeah, as you guys might see, Ben Lawrence is passing back to, or going back to the end here in the line. He did make the mistake of picking the wrong car as he went in here, so he unfortunately has to go to the end of the line even after setting pole. So this is going to be interesting. That's something to look at as we get in here. This is going to be a storyline. Ben is a well-known quick driver in our series, so we'll see how he manages getting through those lower classes.
Yeah, he does have the pace, that's for sure. I do think the traffic starting behind the AM class is going to pose a problem with him. Hopefully he can keep his nose out of trouble here on the first couple laps. Otherwise, it could be a long night for Ben. About 3/4 of a lap to go here as these drivers warm the tires up, pump the brakes, get some heat in the brakes. It's time to go racing.
I don't know what's happening. So it looks like we have some fans in the chat here. It looks like we got a Michael Hickman fan. Yeah, Michael's been strong in our previous races. Last season, he was really fun to watch. I know that we had a couple, great battles at the streets of Chicago that I remember that was really great. A couple battles at the Barber that was awesome. Tyler, you actually you've shared the track with Hickman. What are your thoughts on Hickman's driving style?
Pretty relaxed for the most part. He does show plenty of pace. I'll be interested to see how he stacks up here against Ernie and Michael Liddell. We've seen plenty of Hickman Ernie battles in the past. We might be in for one more tonight.
Okay, guys, as I've heard from race control, we will be going green this next time by. We apologize. We had a few technical difficulties and a little bit of shuffling in the order here, but this next time by, we will be going green. for an hour and 5 minutes here at Brands Hatch. I'm getting real excited here. These guys are antsy. These tires are definitely going to be warmed up now. So this is going to be a chance to make some moves going into turn 1, turn 2. Again, going into turn 1, this is going to be interesting. It's a downhill right-hand corner. You know, you kind of fall off with the camber, right? So you're going to get a little squirrely. And initially, if we only had 1 lap, you know, to warm up tires here, I would have been a little bit nervous if I was going in the first corner. But you know, we're a little bit more confident here. We have a lot more tire, you know, temperature. You know, around me, I'm feeling that the others are feeling confident. But let's just see how the amateurs handle, you know, pro right behind with Ben coming through. This is going to be really interesting going into turn 1, turn 2. Now, following that first lap, we'll see how they kind of shuffle out. Will they go into kind of a single file? Will they kind of understand this is the long game? Or are we going to see people, you know, go for it pretty quickly?
I think we're going to see a lot of the long game. This is with this track being shorter compared to last week's track. There's not going to be as many opportunities right off the start. I don't think. I think the smart play is to go easy around the first lap just to get settled and then get in a pace and try to make your way forward. But you never know what's going to happen once the flag goes green.
And just as you said, Tyler, we're about to go green here. We're coming up towards the last corner. We'll get a little antsy here. They're going to start filing up and get ready to go in turn 1. We got pace car diving in here. And we are green here at Brands Hatch as they go into turn 1. Oh, nice move in there. Alex Berry is going to hang on the outside.
Very gutsy move, hanging it 3 wide around the outside there.
Yep, little bump inside. Oh, who do we got around there? It's Kurt Bassler. Kurt Bassler, he's going to get going again. Spin around. It looks like he got a little bit of a friendly tap behind. Oh, we got a little bit of an incident between 2. They're okay. They're all right. Looks like Rory and who is that? We got Rory and Scott Mowry caught together there, but we're okay. We're all right. We're gonna keep it going. We're staying green here on lap 1 here.
All right, looks like Ben's already picked off a couple of those AMs moving forward here.
Oh, as we ride on board. Yeah, that was really, really close. I'm surprised that he was able to hold on to that.
Ben almost rear-ended Howard right there in that corner.
Yeah, I mean, I know we want to swipe right on tender and swipe left on tender, but he was going straight for that tender car. Let's see how he's going to size him up into turn 1. We're going to have a nice little on board here to see that kind of, you know, falls off to the left. Oh, we got a lot of people getting. Oh man, it looks like a little bit of a beach surface there with all that dust.
Several cars wide, Ben up the inside here. He's all the way up to second place. Carson Rowland here in the AM division already. He's wasting no time on his march forward. Looks like he's showing the inside of Carson. As we pan back to the front here, we've got Alex in the lead, Michael Odell in second, and Ernie Francis in his return in third.
Oh no, John Houston around. He's back going though. That's going to hurt him a little bit. We'll see how he recovers.
Trust me, as someone who spun it early in the race, I know exactly how that feels, and it is not good. You're already mad at yourself. Let's see if he can regain his composure here and try to make a march back up.
Yeah, it looks like he just kind of lost it on corner, like kind of mid. I'd say mid corner. That's a little bit weird. Honestly, around that corner, the wide angle entry you have there, it's a little odd that he lost the rear just right there. So maybe just went in there with a little bit too much heat.
Yeah, but he might have trail broke and unsettled the rear end, and that was all she wrote.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely.
All right, it looks like as we come to the finish line here. It looks like everyone is settled out. We're kind of running single file at the moment. We're following Carson Rowland here, second place in the AM division. He is chasing Chris Schultz, who took a wide line there. He's diving to the inside to protect. Let's see if Carson can go around the outside. No, he's gonna check up here and try to get another run down the hill.
Yeah, as you said, Tyler, they're kind of getting a little bit more relaxed here. We got Alex Bahari in first place right now, Michael Odell second, and Ernie in third. So it looks like Ernie's picking up where he left off. He's getting really close to the front there, and I'm sure he's going to be challenging here relatively soon. And then in it looks like Pro Sport, we got Grayson Trexler up front, and then Wade following close behind. But man is making his way through the field already. He's already halfway through the field. Technically, what is he in 5th place in Pro? But it'll be there pretty soon. The way his qualifying times are looking.
That's right. If he can run anything close to his qualifying pace pretty routinely here in the race, with the progress he's already made, I look for Ben to be up there in the top 4 by the end of this race for sure. Ben is already up to 3rd place in Pro Sport, it looks like, as we come around the first turn here, chasing after Wade Moskowitz. A little wide on exit there from Scott Mowry.
Yeah, it makes you wonder with the early tussle with Rory. Let's see if Scott is keeping his head straight. You know, understanding this is a long game and we can kind of push through here. I mean, he's got a comfortable 3rd right now. You know, chasing down Carson. But you know that early tussle gets in your head, right? You want to understand like, hey, I'm okay. You know, we got a long game here, but you also understand like we're fighting for points. We're fighting for an opportunity to win some, you know, cold hard cash at the end of the season. So every point, every you know place counts. So it's interesting to see how Scott, you know, holds his head high and see if he can get around Karsten here.
For sure. The smart play here is to take it easy for a lap or two and let the heart rate get back down. Try to calm your nerves after being antsy and excited after, you know, the incident there. So see if he puts his head down here, relaxes, recovers, and charges, and see if we can get on the back of Carson even farther.
Right. You know, Tyler, we got some people here in the chat. You know, excited to see you. Every week we seem to be growing and having great involvement. And you know, it looks like we have some Lawrence fans, some Michael Odell fans. But you know, someone I'm kind of wondering where my crawdaddies at. You know, we got Tyler in the booth here, but we definitely still got some crawdaddy fans out there. I know we do.
I know. I'm waiting for him to come out. You know, Crawdaddy himself has made his way into the booth after you know, a not so hot start to the season here. Oh.
Yeah, as we were talking there, Jeff Przanski kind of dropped out into the between 1 and 2, and now he's in the mixture of the top 3 of Pro Sport. You know, Jeff being a pro driver, he's kind of back here with them, and maybe he's had a little bit of a scuffle with himself here, but you know, this adds in this. You know, people forget we're not multi, you know, car class racing here, but we're multi-class racing in the sense of you know, skill level. So you know, Jeff coming back here, these pro sports guys, some of these pro sport, they're right on the cusp for pro. Like I said, we have a potential of promotions and demotions after this race. You know, so definitely with these 3 in the top 3, they want to understand like, hey, are we at Jeff's pace? Are we able to keep with him?
Oh, as Jeff goes off track there, yeah, exactly. Jeff's off track. Kurt's around the outside as we cut through the corner there. Scott goes wide on exit. Kurt's got to run as we come into the final kink here for the straightaway, and Kurt is passed.
Yep.
Just like that, one mistake from Jeff. Scott checks up. Kurt takes advantage, and just like that, 2 spots up.
Yep, Kurt now in the top 3, so that was a great move for Kurt, and not far behind Kurt. What, about 4 or 5 seconds? We got Cole Francetic, so we'll see if he can get in here and challenge for the top 3 in Pro Sport. There's Cole in that beautiful new Aston Martin that iRacing just implemented into the platform. So far, I've actually heard great things about that car. You know, I think it's not in a few racing divisions right now on the officials, but nothing but positivity I've seen from that car. It's just a gorgeous car. As iRacing, you know, expands their you know, their options that we have. It's great to see that they're filling the GT3 class.
Looks like John Houston's recovered here right all over the back of Cole as he's chasing him around here. Let's see if John can recover enough to put a move here on Cole, as he's definitely gained up. He's riding about 0.3 of a second behind him as we speak.
Yeah, if we can, let's take a look back at Chris Schultz and Carson Rowland and see let's see how that battle's going. Looks like Carson still stuck behind Jeff. Tyler, what do you think he needs to do? Does he need to be patient and understand that Jeff's pace is going to get, you know, past Chris again, or do you think he's got to push the envelope a little bit and get past?
I think he needs to judge and see where he's faster and try to set up a move there. I mean, riding behind him is not going to get him anywhere because he has Scott all over him at less than a tenth. Scott looking up the inside here. He's going to bail out at the last second. Carson needs to move forward here and try to get past Jeff. Otherwise, he's going to start getting swallowed up by the cars behind him. They're coming. He's got Scott right behind him, and Rory's right behind Scott. Scott gets a run on corner exit. It looks like he's going to try to go around the outside of Carson here. He's going to clear him by the next corner. Just like that, Carson falls back to Scott, and Scott gets around. Yeah,
that's almost, you know, you wonder and you look at that, like, how much did Scott have momentum there rather than Carson giving up that corner, understanding that these next few corners are definitely, you know, getting in a rhythm, right? You want to get right back up behind Scott and size him up. It goes into turn one. That might be his best next option as he comes up on the last corner here. But it looks like, honestly, just based on pure pace and momentum, you know, Scott is shown to have some strength here.
For sure, he easily went around the out. Like I said, I think Carson lost some momentum there on the corner exit, and Scott took advantage of that to go around the outside. Let's see if Scott can close up to Jeff and maybe make a move on Jeff, or if their pace is so close that they're just going to ride it out here and see if Carson can get back past Scott.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, just want to pause here right real quick, Tyler. We have our legendary John Ross in the live chat here. John, I got one thing to say to you, buddy. Don't ever make me do this again. I really appreciate it. But no, just all kidding aside, me and Tyler are having a great time here with you guys. We are definitely not your usual. We are the, you know, the C class in the iRacing sense of commentators. So we'll get our A class pro level commentator back here soon with John Ross. But John,
C class. I think you're being over optimistic here. I feel like a rookie.
Yeah, rookie. You're right, Tyler. Yeah, but John, we miss you, buddy, and we'll look forward to having you back in the booth soon.
All right, we've moved forward in class to pro here. We got Michael Hickman, who is all over the back of Ernie Francis Jr. Ernie's riding around in third right now. It seems like he's just a little off the pace from Odell and Alex. We talked about it coming in. Will Hickman and Ernie continue their battle? It sure looks like they're about to. Let's ride on board here with Hickman as he chases Ernie into turn 5.
Now, a little perspective, in my opinion. Michael's trying to play with Ernie a little bit. He knows he cannot make that pass into that corner based on that line, right? So he's playing a little bit. Hey, Ernie, I'm right behind you, bud. I know the battles we've had in the last season. I know you're in and out of how you like to go about the racetrack. I'm right here, buddy. I'm coming for you. So
he is.
Yeah, and the other interesting part that I'm going to point out. Hold on. As we have Michael looking up the inside again, I think he's playing tactics with him. Hey, man, I'm gonna make you go deeper. You're looking in your mirrors. Yeah, I can pass you when I want to. Let's see if I can make you make a mistake and make this easier on myself.
Yeah, exactly. He keeps showing the inside every corner, making Ernie drive the mirror, hoping it puts him off pace and maybe gets him out of sync so he can get a run out of one of these corners.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's almost like a cat playing with his mouse.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Little touch of the grass there.
Commentators curse. As soon as we start talking about how good Hickman's doing, he runs just a little wide there, getting ready to come into T1 and loses it. And that puts Ben right on the back of Hickman.
Look who it is. It's Ben Lawrence. Coming from all the way in the back. Oh, Hickman spins!
Evasive maneuvers by Ben to avoid the spinning Hickman.
Yep, and Hickman's in the... Okay. Did Hickman go straight to the pits? Hickman is in the pits.
I don't know what happened there. Is that it's not a disconnect, is it? You don't go straight to the pits from a disconnect, do you?
No, I'm baffled. I'm gonna check on my own onboard here. And see what
he
happened.
does straight to the pits. Very interesting.
Yeah, he just went straight off. He was off and out of harm's way for everyone else. So I'm quite curious to why he went straight to the pits. We'll keep an eye on that. But that was a top contender there for the class.
I don't know what happened to Ben, but notice in these replays here, he's missing the front bumper off his car.
What was that? Did he have a little bit of contact with Michael, by chance?
I'm not sure. It definitely looked like there was a bumper in the racetrack right there, right when Hickman started to lose the rear end. Yeah,
it's something we'll definitely keep track of. I mean, I hate to see that. Hickman's a strong contender in our series, and like I said, Ernie and him have had great history, great battles. So I was really hoping to see that again. And Ben, coming through and coming from the back and showing his strengths. I was really looking forward to that battle coming up.
Yeah, Ben has laid it all on the table, dead last, all the way up to 4th after that end of the line penalty, chasing down Ernie here. Let's see if he can get this done. I believe he still has Grayson Trexler between him and Ernie.
Yeah, it's something a little interesting, Tyler, that I'm looking at right now. It looks like, Ernie and Ben's delta in the sense of their lap times. Ben is clearing him sometimes by a full second, so I don't think it'll be not much longer before Ben gets up to Ernie.
No, only one more pro driver to clear, and then he's on his way to the rear end of Ernie Francis Jr.'s Lamborghini. Carson Rowland here is rebounding as he approaches the rear of Scott. Let's see if he's going to fully recover and make a charge after Scott. Just in front of Scott, we have Jeff Perchowski in the pro division, and then just in front of Jeff, we have Chris Schultz leading that class.
Hey, Tyler, just for your information, for everyone else's information, a little bit help from our video production team here. It looks like that Ben did make contact with Michael Hickman. And that might be the reason why we have the damage in the front.
Not what you want to see, but fireworks galore.
No, yeah, and for our friends at home, that's downforce that possibly is going to be out of the way.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on Ben's lap times here and see if they fall off or if he's still able to keep pace, missing the front bumper. Looks like Ernie has settled into a pace here. No pressure from behind. Odell's about 1.4 seconds up the road. We're only 16 minutes into this thing, so at this point it's time to put your head down and just run a consistent pace until it's time to hit the pits.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the case. We're going to be seeing, honestly, our pit window opens up here in the next 10 minutes or so. Do people want to get in? Is there a risk of a potential safety car? In our past two races, first race of the season, we only had one safety car. Second race of the season, I think we had about three safety cars. So there's a little bit of variance of what we've seen this season. The way they're spread out right now and the way they've been super respectful, there's a possibility we may not see a safety car. So, but you got to play your strategy the way you think is best for your outcome.
Yeah, we may see attempted undercuts. We may see someone try to do an overcut. It all is going to come down to how the car feels the longer we go into this race.
Yep. Depends. How much has that person watched Formula One? Taking a little bit of of note from that, right? So
as long as they don't pay attention to Ferrari's strategy, that's all that matters.
Yep. I completely agree with you, Tyler. Completely agree with you. All right, looking here, looks like we have Ernie still in the top three with Michael and then Alex in front of him. Alex is being pursued by Michael, pretty closely here.
Yep. As we hop on board with Michael, you can see Alex right there in front. I don't have the lap times pulled up, but the gap has been pretty consistent at a little over a second so far through the first 18 minutes. See if he can put the hammer down and pull back up to him, or like we just talked about, is he going to try to pull a pit stop strategy to maybe jump him here?
And like we just said, pit stop strategy. Jeff is in.
Scott Mowry is also in from the AM division. I'm curious if that's calculated based on trying to do the undercut, or if they had damage and they wanted to take advantage of their fast repairs here.
I'm not quite sure. It's a really good assumption there. We are kind of on the maximum of the fuel window here, so they may be taking that risk.
Jeff does have a history of pitting early, I will say that.
Yes.
All last season, he was every week he was almost the first one in the pits. Sometimes he made it to the end, sometimes he ran just a little short. It's a risky strategy. I'm curious to see how that plays out for him.
Yeah, it pays off for him, Cotton. Alrighty, I just want to get this out. Michael Hickman is back on the track. He is currently 1 lap down. So another tidbit for our viewers here. If you are 1 lap down and we go to a caution, you will get that lap back.
Oh boy, look who's coming up behind him.
Oh boy, Ben Lawrence. So these two, they do not have history per se, but Ben has seen Michael get loose in front of him. So does that play into Ben's mindset as he tries to get past the car, right? Does he understand, like, hey, this guy spun in front of me, maybe I need to be a little bit careful in the same area that he spun, or am I just going to go for it, right? And then get by him and keep my my pursuit to Ernie here.
Especially if there was contact off camera that we missed between these two right before Michael went to the pits. Like I said, we saw the bumper in the road. We didn't see the contact camera, but it sounds like there was, so
yep.
Hickman
Alex
could be fired up and not want to easily let him by here.
Absolutely. As Alex passes the start-finish line, we do have a few other coming in here for pits. Carson Rowland is exiting the pits, and we have Cole Francetic taking full service as well. So that, and
looks like
as I said,
Ernie's in the pits too, yeah.
Yep, Ernie Francis Jr. So let's see what Ben does here. Is he going to take the opportunity to, throw down some fast laps and pit later, or is he going to go ahead and match him?
Ben is also in the pit.
No, I have Ben going in turn 1.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Sorry, his name went red, and I thought that meant he was going in the pits. Rookie commentators over here, everybody.
The rookie. Get the hood of this guy. Get him off stage. Well, we need John Ross back here. All right, like I said, it would be interesting. Let's focus on Ben here. Let's see if Ben's gonna come in and match that strategy of Ernie Francis Jr. Or like I said, is he gonna tail Michael here? Michael does have the pace to match Ernie and match the top two. So will Ben use him as just kind of like cat and mouse game, right? Like, I know he's fast, I know I can keep up with him. If I can keep that pace, I'm making way on Ernie. Let's see what he does.
The toe and just pull away here. He might dive into the pits, reactionary to Jeff and Ernie going in, and see. Don't forget, he's got that fast repair. He's going to get that front bumper fixed. He's going to retain some of his downforce.
He's in, Tyler.
Yep. Dives in. Looks like Wade follows him in. Yep.
With that iconic Simpsons livery.
Looking in chat here, Timothy Odell, Ben can drive a race car. That he sure can.
I'll give you a little tidbit here, everybody. Ben came to our series very, very green. Ben came to me and asked Miles, I need a little help, right? And I showed this kid just the basics of telemetry, and it was from there. He went from, using the baby walker just sprinting the 100-meter dash like Usain Bolt. This kid is definitely someone that, you know, I have past racing experience in real life. I would love to see Ben in a real race car because I really do think he has true raw pace.
The learning curve on this kid.
It's incredible. I mean, to be honest with you, it is truly incredible. And honestly, too, his humbleness within our series has been great. He's a great personality to have around. I'll say the Discord paddock. So it's been awesome here at USRA for Ben.
All right, let's take a look at our leader here, Alex. No real coverage so far. He's just been out on his own driving. He still has Michael Odell about almost 2 seconds back now, but he's just been hanging out, driving his own laps, running his own pace. No real pressure from behind. He hasn't had any problem with the lappers yet. He's just on cruise control at this point.
Absolutely. And just a little note, we have had Grayson Trexler, our leader in Pro Sport pit. So we'll see how that develops with, I think Kirk Bassler has assumed the lead in Pro Sport.
He has. We have 3 drivers yet to pit. Alex has yet to pit, Michael Odell has yet to pit, and Kurt has yet to pit. Everybody else has pitted. Looks like Alex and Michael are going to run the long game here.
As we say that, Ben kind of goes wide. I think it's turn 5, turn 6. But he got back on. That might be a little bit of cold tires. I mean, these tires take about 3 laps, 4 laps to fire up with this new tire model. So that doesn't spin one bit.
No, Alex here dives into the pits. Michael Odell assumes the lead, staying out. Kurt Basler still out on track, yet to pit. So go on board with Michael around turn 2. Just like that, Kurt has pit. So I would assume Michael's going to pit this lap or the following lap. I would think he's on his in lap now with everybody else already pitting. I don't think it would be smart to stay out too long. And just like that, Kurt into the pits. Alex is the only one yet to pit.
Alex is kind of getting jumbled up here with some lap traffic. As Patrick Rich goes right past Alex here. And then Ben also getting by. So a little bit of tidbit. Unfortunately, it looks like Ben had a 35-second penalty he had to serve in the pit lane. I'm not quite sure what that penalty was for. As he lets back Alex by. That's an interesting move, as he's got some more ground to make up. So we'll see what we can get back to the audience here, why that is.
Smart move from Ben there to let Alex by. Don't want to affect his race. He's still a lap down. Just get on the back of him here and see if he can pull Ben forward. Alex doing a bit of weaving there to help get some heat in those tires.
Yep. Michael Odell is exiting the pit lane right now with Alex coming down the front stretch. Has he done it? Oh no, Odell is he's off. He's off. He's looped it coming out of the pits.
What happened here? Let's take a quick watch. Oh no, the cold tires. As soon as he kicks the pit limiter off, he gets on the bump. She's gone, and into the wall it goes. Unfortunate. He played the long game, took the lead, and unfortunately lost it on pit exit. And I know all too well how terrible that feels.
Michael Peak goes around. We might be in store for a little bit of
The 77 around again, 2 times in 1 lap. You hate to see it. Looks like he gets back going here. Time for Michael here after those 2 spins to ready the ship, put in some consistent laps, not worry about pace, get the heart rate down, and see if he can get into a rhythm. As we go back up to Michael Odell. I'm sure he's kicking himself for that spin coming out of pit road, especially after all that effort, staying out longer, running further, just to lose it coming out of the pits. You hate to see it. He's about 8 seconds back of Ernie Francis Jr. Ernie Francis Jr. is about 18 seconds back of Alex. So we go up to Ernie here. I can't quite make out the car behind Ernie.
Car behind Ernie is, let's see here. Car behind Ernie is, I think that's Grayson Trexler.
That's
so that's our
Trexler, okay.
leader. Yep, a leader in pro sport.
I believe Grayson overalled last week's race, is that correct?
That, I believe, yes, that is correct.
And just like that, he's hounding 2nd place in the pro division. He might be looking at a promotion after this if he keeps these kind of performances up.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Well, again, our race administration will, our USRA administration will look at that and understand where we can improve the racing. Again, honestly, so far, we made a couple adjustments after race 1 because of a little bit of surprises. But I think we're looking pretty good here. If you look at the scoring tower here.
It has been very competitive tonight. Now that we've gotten through the pit stop cycle, everyone's kind of spread out a little bit. We have a couple instances of battle. Kurt is all over the back of Wade Moskowitz for 2nd place in the pro sport division.
Yep, Wade being overtaken by Michael Odell, and he's got Kurt Bassler right behind him as well. Oh, gives a little bit of a gap there. Let's see if Kurt's going to be a little bit impatient and getting around Wade here, or is Wade going to fight him off a little harder? I do believe Kurt has shown a little bit of faster pace, but we'll see how this one ends out. The nice part is Wade does have Michael in front of him to get a little bit of a tow to get away from Kurt, but Michael won't be there for very long. Michael's one of the faster ones. I think the 2nd fastest right now in terms of pace. So Wade's got to use that toe a little bit to get away from Kurt.
Just as you say that, through turn 2 down into turn 3, it looks like Kurt's hanging tough right here on the back of Wade. It'll be interesting to see in the next couple laps if he pulls in and shows the nose, or if Wade's able to finish him off. On board with Kurt, trying to get the tow. I know Michael's been fast all night. I wonder if that incident coming out of pit road has rattled him at all, or if there's any damage to the car that might have him slowed up. He's not exactly running away from Wade right now.
Well, he has come back in to use his faster pair, so he is fully back in pace. But it does look like he's not running away from Wade. So maybe that tire issue that he had is rattling a little bit. He's maybe not trusting the car as much as he used to. And also, Wade's staying with him. So this is really helping Wade. Honestly, the faster class in front of him, he's not worried about points. He's all worried about Kurt. And Kurt has to get past 2 cars in front of him, not just 1. Because you want to get past Wade, but you also want to get past Michael if Michael's going to be slower and put a little bit of space between yourself and Wade.
I was going to say, Kurt gets past Wade here, it's not like he has free track to run away with. He's got Michael right in front of Wade, so He might be able to make the pass on Wade. He's going to be held up, and Wade's might be able to get him right back, depending on what happens here. We'll just have to watch this and see how it plays out.
Absolutely, absolutely. Something
Nice
a little interesting
there.
And something a little interesting here at Brands Hatch that some other tracks do not have. There's a great entry to some of these corners with this grippy concrete kind of grass mixture, like right there as he exits that curbing, and also here as the entrance into that kind of back straight area, and then the exit there. There's a little bit of misconception. You can drop a wheel on other places in this track. So you think to yourself, oh, I have, there's grass out there, but I might have a little bit of grip. That's the case in some corners, but not all the corners. So it's interesting to see if someone will maybe keep that in their head and then forget, oh no, this corner, I can't do that. I'm going to go out on the white line and lose traction instantly. So that's something to keep track of too as we kind of progress through this race. As we're about halfway there as well, Tyler. So, so far so good. No cautions, and we're looking at really close racing.
Exactly. We're watching Scott Mowry here trying to pull up to the back of Zachary Garrison, maybe make a move here in the next couple laps. As you can see on the corner exit here, there are tire tracks leaving the rumble strips on almost every corner. So some guys are really pushing the edge of the boundaries, trying to get as much speed out of these corners as they possibly can.
As we were talking about Jeff earlier, Jeff just set his fastest time of the race. So maybe he's, getting back into the groove and getting his focus down. Maybe Jeff has a chance to possibly chase down. It looks like he'd be chasing down Michael Odell, and like we said, Michael is maybe in his head a little bit after that, or after the cold tires out of the pit lane. So that's something to watch as well. Let's see if Jeff can chase down Michael with the current pace that he has. As I say that, Michael lays down a 22.7 in his last lap, so maybe Michael's kind of getting the hang of it as he goes around Cole Francetic to lap him.
Very well could be. A couple laps free of any incidents, shake the jitters off, get back in your groove, find your rhythm, and start laying down some laps. Rory pulls over there to let Ben by as Ben continues to push forward. See how he ends up at the end of this race. Still about halfway to go. Plenty of time left for Ben to make some moves here, especially if some drama happens on the road in front of him.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like we talked about earlier, everybody is, really minding themselves and not really getting into crazy not really crazy battles, but crazy moves, right? So this has been interesting so far. Really clean racing. I mean, that's like what we like to see in USRA. And that's kind of what we pride ourselves on. It's clean, close racing, and honestly, so far really respectful. So it's been great to see this whole race.
It has been. No one's done anything wildly out of line that we've seen so far on stream. As we hop back to Wade Moskowitz here running second in the Pro Sport division. Wade's about 9 seconds back of Grayson Trexler, but he's also trying to pull away from Kurt Basler here. He has made some stretch here. With last time we checked in on these two, Kurt was about 0.6 of a second behind him. Wade's pulled it back out to about 1.3 seconds. I think what Wade really needs to do here is kind of focus down and get in a rhythm. I know we keep saying that, but this track is really about momentum and rhythm, so it's important that these guys focus in on that.
Absolutely. Kind of looking at our live chat here, it looks like we got an Odell fan here that says, we talked about earlier, Tyler, that we thought that Michael was kind of getting in his head a little bit after that mistake. But we said, we have a commentator here, commenter here that said he's getting in his head in a little bit different way. He's calculating. Oh, as we say that, who do we have in the wall here?
The 27 car.
Let's see if he gets back on. Okay, it's Zach Garrison. He's rejoined. See what happens here.
I think that might be a little bit a case of driving in the mirror. He did have position all over the back of him. I think he missed his braking point and just locked up and went straight.
Oh, man.
Looks like he has a black flag from that, too.
Oh, has he reached his incident point limit?
I think he's reached his incident point limit. I believe we're going to see him dive into the pits here for a drive-through.
Yeah, that did put him right over. No.
You hate to see that. From the lead back to 5th, and he's got a drive-through with Patrick coming up behind him. Again, a position that I myself have found myself in, and it does not feel great. First race of the year, I myself served 2 drive-throughs for incident points.
Oh, place for you, isn't it, Tyler?
It's not, no. No,
I'm just joking.
I wanted to let go of the wheel and drive straight into the wall when I got my second drive-through.
So something to kind of watch. You know, incident points are kind of getting a little close for a few people. Jeff Persanski's at 15. He's got 2 more to go. Dakota Howard's at 16. Only 1 more to go. Michael Peak at 14. 3 more to go. So, and then even Michael Hickman's already up to 12. So this might play a factor. We've still got 24 minutes left in this race. And there could be some black flags in the future of some of these drivers.
The A80 car gets a little wide on exit here, and around it goes. Does he keep it off the wall here? No, it looks like he does take a bit of damage off the wall. I can't tell if the right rear, it looks like he has right rear damage, so we'll probably be seeing him come into the pits here to grab his fast repair, unless he's already taken it.
You know, honestly, so far, Tyler, with all these, like kind of these little solo accidents, everyone's doing a great job of holding the brakes, not coming back onto the racetrack. You know, that's something I know the race control will look for. If there's any chance that there's a possibility of another car hitting another one just because of rollback onto the track, it's going to probably gauge a caution. So great job by all these drivers, being respectful of their you know, of their colleagues and not ruin anybody else's race by just kind of staying on the side. As I say that, we have a spinner with Zachary Garrison. Looks like he had a little light tap with the wall. See if Zach can get back on track here. Looks like he just dropped the wheel.
Too wide. Yeah, dropped the wheel into the grass, and around she goes. You know, I think the longer we go into this race, the more we might see that. I think these guys are going to start pushing the edges a little bit, and they might get into the marbles and send them into the grass. We might see some more people lose it on corner exit the later we get. Second place in the Pro Division, Ernie Francis Jr. still hanging out, doing his thing, full cruise control, in the zone, just turning his own laps. We drop back to first place in the M Division here. We have Carson Rowland. He has also regained composure. I know earlier in the race we were talking to him about him having a couple incidents, falling back. It looks like he's pulled away in the AM Division. He's running about an 8-second gap over Chris Schultz. So it looks like he's back in the zone as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and something to say here, Grayson Trexler, he's leaving off where, you know, or he's continuing where he left off last week. He's doing a great job, really calm, collective. Haven't really seen many mistakes from this young man. So, great ambassador of the pro sport class, and we'll definitely, seeing if he has possibility of maybe promotion for after this race.
For sure, especially last race and this race. 2 fast qualifyings, starting out front, and seemingly just driving his own race.
looks like our closest battle on track right now is between Kurt Bassler and Wade Massaquich. I'm gonna butcher that every time. So sorry, Wade. Wade M. We're gonna go with Wade M. He's gonna love me for that. So Kurt's
I can already hear him being grumpy.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Kurt's chasing down Homer Simpson there like Homer chasing down a donut. But you know what? Wade is not, receding into the bushes like Homer does here. He is pushing out forward and making sure to make Kurt work for it. So it's awesome to see Wade definitely improve here. Wade's been a really staple of our driver lineup here at USRA, but it's great to see him have some success.
For sure, he's been a steady Eddie as far as USRA drivers go. The car switch to this season, he's really come alive in that BMW.
Absolutely, yep. Because Wade, he was in a Porsche last year, right?
That is correct. He was in a Porsche last year.
That's right.
Oof, these guys are running wide on that exit.
And keep that in mind. Like I said, they have some confidence because of those certain runoff areas with that grippy concrete. So we'll see if, maybe they forget, like right here on the end of this corner, you don't have that. On that last corner, you do not have that runoff. You dip a tire out there, it's going to go around. So just keep that in mind, especially I think we've seen a couple times in a turn one here, if they dip out, on their entry, they get a spin around as who runs wide? Is that Michael Hickman?
I think it is, yeah. It looks like Hickman goes a little wide there on T1 into the sand with the left tires. These guys using all of the track to try and get their pace.
We're about 45 minutes into this race, so we have 19 minutes to go. This is a reminder to our fans here. We do have no caution with 15 minutes to go. So if something's got to happen to bunch this field up, it's got to happen here pretty soon. So it'd be interesting to see if a lot of these guys, they may have done pit strategy to bank on a caution. And definitely going into this type of track, you would have thought it's a momentum track, right? You would have thought that people would have been collected in battles, and maybe cold tires would have played a factor, as we've seen with Michael Odell. But so far, it's been neat and tidy by the whole group here. So it's been great to see.
It really has. 3.5 minutes on the clock away from no more caution. So if you bin it after that, you're out of luck. As we go back to Scott Mowry here, he's got Rory hounding his rear bumper going into T1.
Rory's definitely shown some improved speed here at Branch. I know in the Discord, he's definitely been talking really confident. So it's great to see Rory doing well as he's seeking out to cap off the top 5 in AM. As Ernie's flashing Rory to kind of, hey buddy, get out of my way. I'm hunting down Alex as the best I can.
See if Rory gives way to the inside here. He tries to keep.
He's trying to keep behind. He doesn't want to lose that momentum. As he allows him around. Okay, that's good sportsmanship on Rory. Looks like he didn't make Ernie have to work for it too hard.
Scott lets Ernie by, and that puts Rory right back in the hunt of this. I'm not sure where he's going to try to pass. Where do you think the best passing spot on this track is?
Honestly, there's a few, right? So you kind of have I think it's turn, would it be like 8 or 9? I can't remember. It's that kind of tight left. You have a lot of momentum going to the tight left corner, so you can maybe throw it in there. And again, everyone unfortunately watches Formula One, and we think we can throw those dive bombs with these GT3 cars, but you just can't do that, right? So you got to be a little bit more calculated with your movements here. Again, I think I liked who was it earlier that was kind of messing with Hickman, or was it was it Hickman was messing? I can't remember who it was directly, but you know, kind of throwing the dummy, right? Make them come off, make them drive from their mirrors. You know, we've seen that a couple times where people are driving the mirrors, they'll make that mistake. I think Zachary unfortunately made that mistake earlier. So that would be my key here. This is a momentum track. If you get offline to try to make some, lofty outside pass or kind of a late apex pass, like it's probably not going to work. And if it doesn't work, you've completely ruined your line for the next couple corners. So really, I'd play the game of showing the nose, making them think, making them a little bit nervous, and then let them make the mistake. I think that's the best chance for some of these drivers.
I agree. I like that play on a momentum track. Show the nose and try to get the car in front to drive the mirror and make that mistake to allow you to get past.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's if I was in this race, that's what I would do. If I'm Rory right now, I'm trying to play the head game here. Honestly, use that beautiful blue button of a flasher. Get in their head.
Oh no, Carson wide in the grass and into the wall. How many people are we going to see go wide coming out of turn 2 and make that same mistake? And he is pretty severely damaged there on the left rear. Oh no, I think he's going to have to tow.
We have a caution here. Happened right before the 15 minutes, so this is going to bunch up the group. This would be really interesting to see how the strategy plays out. Maybe some people made an earlier pit stop for the potential, with the potential of possibly pitting again.
Exactly. Some of these guys are going to be licking their chops on the restart. Just when you think you're out of it, the yellow brings everybody back together.
Okay, it looks like we have quite a few people here that are going to wave around. Remember, if you have or you're down one lap, you will get the wave around. So you're alive again. Michael's alive again. And Chris is alive again. Patrick's alive. This is going to bring a lot of chaos into these last 15 minutes. This is great for our spectators. I'm really excited for them, Tyler.
Exactly. It's going to be a no bars hold match to the end of this race, especially everyone coming together for the restart. Exactly, Timothy. There is a chance. It's like Scott Mowry and Michael O'Dell are diving into the pits here. I gotta think this is a fast repair. Agreed, Rowdy. Dive bombs don't happen in GT3. Well, you're absolutely right. When we come back live here in the green flag, we are probably going to see some chaos for the first couple laps. Carson, nice to see you checking in there in chat. I know we saw you go a little wide there coming out of 2 and catch that grass, and around she went. That is all she wrote for the number 90 Lamborghini.
Now, Tyler, unfortunately, we had a little bit of mishap there on the pace lap. Looks like Rory Stump has been given an EOL because of an avoidable contact with Michael Odell. So let's see what that means for Michael Odell. Michael might have had some bad damage there from that contact.
Yeah, I was going to say, Michael's been in the pits for a while here. Looks like he's going to lose a whole lap in the pits. Damn it, I wanted to see some fire on the restart.
Yeah, Tyler, you're right. That is kind of unfortunate. I really wish Michael wouldn't have had that happen to him. Kind of when you get these paces and you have the people trying to catch back the pack, they kind of come around a blind corner possibly and just make unfortunate contact.
It is unfortunate, but it's not the first time we've seen it this season, and it will more than likely not be the last.
All right, Tyler, we're looking at this field right now. Who you liking for each class?
Well, I'm really interested to see if Ernie can do anything on the restart here. Alex has been out front the whole race, driving his own race. Curious to see if he's going to have anything, especially on the restart with everyone bunched up. And then same with Wade. Wade's going to now be all over the back of Grayson. Everyone gets reset. I'm curious to see if anyone's going to pull any aggressive moves here on the first lap or two.
We apologize, chat. It looks like we're having some technical difficulties. It looks like we are right now frozen. I don't know if we can get a confirmation in the chat that you're able to hear Tyler and I. That'd be great.
I was just about to say it is frozen on my end. "56 minutes of an hour and 5, and then it decides to crap the bed."
All right, looks like we're able to be heard here, Tyler. So right now we still got 1 to green, so we're gonna try to get this back to you guys as soon as we can. Looks like iRacing had a little technical difficulty and just froze up on our video production team here. Okay, we are heading to the green flag, so we'll try to give you guys a little bit from our voices. So apologies if we get a little bit animated here.
You don't have to, Rowdy, you don't have to get on the treadmill. You can wait another 15 minutes. It's fine. The treadmill will still be there when the race is over.
Alex heads into turn 1, unchallenged. Ernie's right behind him. Oh, we have a crash in the back. Who is that? It looks like it's Zachary Garrison. And I think it was Rory as well. All right, we're sitting up front here. We got Alex, Ernie in the pursuit right behind him. Not far behind is Ben Lawrence. He's got 3 Pro Sports in front of him. Let's see if he can get through really quickly. We got 7 minutes to go here. Going through the forest here of England. Alex still up front with Ernie close behind within 0.7 of a second. Ben's getting a little bit antsy. Looks like he turns Kurt Bassler back there. Kurt keeps it. Ben proceeds to go forward. It looks like this has hurt Kurt, though, with Pro Sports.
It has. He's all out of sorts.
Alex is settling in here as he comes around the last corner. Ernie's getting a little closer, but Alex is keeping his composure. Back in Pro Sports, is being pursued by Wade going into turn 1. But Ben in 3rd place is close behind. He needs to get past these Pro Sports as quickly as possible. Ben drops a wheel coming out of 1.
Exactly. Ben's caught up to the back of Wade here in the Pro Sport division. It looks like he's got Grayson next up the road. I'm very interested to see how aggressive Ben's going to get here with Wade and Grayson to try to make a move and get on the back of Ernie.
Yeah, Alex is starting to gap here a little bit. Ernie looks like he may be losing that opportunity as Alex gains his tires underneath him. Grayson gapping Wade a little bit. Ben still stuck behind. Wade has a little bit of a moment, goes off. If Ben is smart, he's going to take this opportunity and get past Wade. But Wade's going to let him by that easy, guys. He's got his sights on Grayson. Hey, we are back. We're back. You got your visuals back here, everybody. All right, let's join back up here with Alex. Again, Alex, comfortable lead here to Ernie. It looks like Alex, if he can keep this pace, he's going to feel, just comfortable enough to not worry about Ernie catching up to him.
Exactly. He's been out front driving his own race all night. Even after the restart, he's already pulled back out to a 1.4 second lead. See if he hops right back into his rhythm, or if Ernie can put the pedal down and pull back up on the back of him here.
Yeah, and going back to the AM, we haven't been giving much love to the AM class, but Chris Schultz showing great masterclass here. He's been basically in the lead the whole race. He's got Scott Mowry back in 2nd, but Scott has a Pro Sport in between him and Chris. So if he can't, dispose of Kurt, respectfully and quickly, I'm not sure if he's gonna have a chance at Chris with about 4 minutes to go here.
No, I don't think so. Chris has been driving super consistent tonight, again in his own rhythm. So it's all about how quick you can get past on these momentum tracks. And sometimes if you can't get past fast enough, you're done.
Looking back at Grayson kind of getting a gap here. Ben is looks like he's getting a little impatient. He's got to get past if he has any shot at catching. I know that Ben has a faster pace than Alex and Ernie, through this race, but he keeps getting held up by those lower class cars. That's what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you pick the wrong class, wrong car as you come in here. You have to serve that EOL and fight back. But you know what? Ben's been doing a great job doing so.
That he has. I'm very impressed with him coming from dead last in the field back to 3rd overall in Pro.
Do you think that do you think that Ben needs to be worried about Jeff here?
Currently, no, I don't think so. Jeff's still about 3 seconds back of Ben. He's got a car between him and Jeff, so I think Ben's in a good position right now.
Ben's looking on the outside of Wade. Let's see if he's going to come out there and stick it. Yep, he's got to do it. That's his chance of getting by another Pro Sport. But this opens the door to John Houston to come down to Wade and see if he can get that 2nd place. He's getting right up on him, Tyler.
He is. I can't believe Wade gave up position there to Ben so easy, knowing that John was right there behind him.
Yeah, let's focus in on if we can go on board with Houston here. Let's see if he's going to track down Wade.
Well, it looks like John got a bit of a bad exit there. Lost some ground on the back of Wade coming out of the final corner as we come down the straightaway here into T1.
Just a quick note to our production team. Yes, Trevor, we're all good. The chat can see that. Don kind of making up a little ground here. He's I think through that first sector, maybe first sector and a half, he's definitely quicker than Wade. So let's see if he has another moment coming off at the last turn there. But he's made that ground up. It's gonna be interesting with 1 minute to go. I think we're gonna be coming to white flag here with Alex.
Looks like Alex is pulled away and is steadily holding a little over a 1.5 second lead there on Ernie. As we look here on board with Wade still, John is all over his rear end.
We have the white flag out for Alex Bahiri. Alex driven a great race. The KSIM guys, they're great. Michael Odell, great. It's sad that Michael had that unfortunate incident happen to him. I think Michael would have been there, right at the end. So, but you know what? That's why it's a 10-race season. We have 2 drop races. There's plenty of opportunity to get back here for Michael. So I'm definitely not counting out for this the top step of the championship, challenging for it.
No, not just yet, like you said, especially with the drop races. As we look here, John's got a run on Wade. Wade goes low to defend.
On the outside, John, he almost got the grass. His best chance here is he's going to, remember that corner I told you about. He's going to get the momentum, shut his nose a little bit, aim for that slow left-hander. He's going to go on the outside. If I were him, I would stay behind, tuck behind him. Tuck behind him.
He's going to go around the outside.
Little touch. Wade's got to shove it. He goes wide a little bit. Let's see if Wade stays nice and tidy to get right behind him. Wade has lost momentum. See what I was saying? If I was Wade, I would have definitely stayed side by side. Make him make that corner. You are entitled to that corner being the inside car. So, unfortunately, that's not going to end up to Wade. But you know what, guys? We have Alex Bahiri taking the victory in the pro class with Ernie close behind in second. Grayson Trexler will finish first with Wade in second and John in third. Great job by those guys. We look back at Chris Schultz takes the win in AM. What a race from our guys here. This was a great finish for everybody. I was really excited to see that finish with that late caution. So great job by everybody. Tyler, comments on the race. What do you think?
It was good overall. I mean, what else can you ask for, especially with a restart right there at the end to kind of throw a wrench into everybody's race plan? I don't know what else to say other than Alex drove a great race out front. Grayson also drove a great race in Pro Sport. And Wade and John, what a battle there to the end. Unfortunately for Wade, John gets the best of him around the outside, and there was just nothing left he could do on the last bit of that lap to round out your third place there in Pro Sport. Chris Schultz, great drive there to bring it home in the AM division with Scott Mowry in second and Patrick, I can't read what that says, Patrick in third in the AM division.
Gotta get your bifocals on there, Tyler.
I'm gonna blame Trevor for having low resolution.
Yeah, absolutely. It's easy to blame our video production here. All right, guys. Well, we're going to see if we get some people here in the waiting room. We'll have our 3 winners from the Pro Sport and AM class. So we'll have Alex Bahiri, Grayson Trexler, and then Chris Schultz. So let's pull some of these up into the waiting room. Let's go ahead and start off with our AM first place right here. So I'll pull Chris up. Hey, Chris. We got Miles and Tyler here in the booth. You got a copy there?
Yes, hello.
Hey, buddy, great job, man. I know you like to show your talents on our endurance team, but definitely here in round 3, you showed your talents in the AM class with the sprint format. So great job. Just to let us know how the race feel. Looked like you were in control for most of the race.
It felt really amazing, honestly. I did not take any tires during pit lane. I had a really smart pit strategy.
Wow,
That
interesting.
is
So
a very bold
if
strategy.
if I took tires, I would have been maybe 5 or 10 seconds behind Rory coming out of pit lane.
yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that as well. I was wondering, and honestly, I didn't even think about it. Kind of doing double duty here, but that's incredible. So, do you think the older tires, do you think kind of helped with firing the tires up for that restart?
But yeah, for sure, 100%. Feel like I got more grip coming out of pit lane. Didn't have to struggle warming them up as I did in the beginning. But let the hands
Awesome.
and toes and
Awesome.
fingers work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. um, yeah, like I said, you were in control for that whole race. Was there any conditions that you didn't really see in our official practices or even in your warm-ups that you were, it looks like it got a little darker than you guys were used to. So did that play a factor? The lighting play a factor at all?
It did. A track did feel a lot uh like traction. It felt a lot more rubber, grippy.
Yeah. Yeah. Tyler, you got anything for our winner here in AM?
At one point, you did go backwards a little bit. How did you mentally regroup to come back forward and take the win?
So, I allowed what's his name to ask me. I allowed a car to by me, and he ended up bending it into the barrier, which allowed me to gain a position and regain momentum to catch up to Scott again. And Scott ended up having a little bend issue, which allowed me to go by him.
Awesome. Hey, Chris, I do have one question for you. We have, the third round is over. So now it's a chance to change your manufacturer. Are you going to be doing that? Or are you comfortable with what you got?
We might stick with the McLaren.
There we go. There we go. Keeping the British fans happy here at Brands Hatch. That's awesome.
The McLaren's paid off so far. You might as well stick with it.
Yep,
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, we'll give this chance to kind of give a shout out. Let us know, who's responsible for your success here, and then we'll go ahead and get our next winner here. So the floor is yours, buddy.
I'm gonna say here, shout out to Rory, Trevor, and Dale. Without them, I would not have been in this.
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Allow me to be able to participate and race with you guys.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Chris. We appreciate it. We'll look forward to week 4 with you, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, guys.
Double blinker for the win.
Maybe.
All right, with that, we're going to go ahead and pull up our Pro Sport winner. Hey, Grayson, it's Miles and Tyler here in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yep, I got you.
And Grayson, that was kind of a wild mixture between the Pro and the Pro Sport. You had a little bit of a mixture with the pros there for a bit. How did you divvy up that battles with they had their own little agendas that they had, and you had your own. Did you have anything that you had to worry about in the sense of maneuvering through traffic or kind of respecting other people's driving behaviors with the class difference?
Yeah, for most of this season, if someone's not in the pro sport class, I've just mainly either been letting them by or trying to get by them as quickly as possible, just depending on their speed. But yeah, just kind of rode around, and my biggest downfall, honestly, is I always try to give 100% every lap, and it about busted me a few times, but it was a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, that's awesome. How were the conditions for you? We just had Chris on. He was saying that it's a little grippier that he remembers from practice, and obviously we have kind of looks like the day went to night a little bit here with the lighting. Did the conditions kind of catch you off guard at all, or?
Yeah, I think every once in a while that sun would get in my eyes, and it started messing me up. So wasn't a big fan of that, but other than that, it was a pretty good race. I think the track stayed a whole lot cleaner from gravel than it did during practice, so that definitely helped.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, in this pro sport, obviously you're kind of on the boundary of the pro class as well. Talk to us how important the momentum and rhythm of this track is when you're driving.
Yeah, this track's just a really big flowy track. Like, as long as you can hit your line every single lap, I think you'll be all right. The problem is when you start trying to push, like we saw with Michael Odell, he was trying to overcome his adversity and he ran off track and then just kind of got stuck behind that. So, yep.
At what point do you decide to slow down and stop trying to set fastest laps in order to keep your rhythm?
I'm gonna be completely honest. I never stopped trying 'cause it just went away from me. I don't know if I overheated the tires or what, but I was just trying to keep up with Ernie, and all of a sudden I couldn't. So he's either that good or I just fell off.
Did you take tires by chance at the pit stop?
I did.
You did. Okay. Awesome. Well, hey, Grayson, from Tyler and myself and everybody at USRA, congratulations on your pro sport win. That's another one in the books. Definitely, we're going to leave this to you and give you some time to thank people that you need to.
Yeah, I just want to thank all of my teammates with KSM Media, Alex, Michael, John. They've all had pretty good seasons so far, and I'd like to give a shout out to my girlfriend who stayed up and watched this race. Thanks, Madison.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, thanks, Madison, for letting our boy on here. That's awesome. We appreciate it. Well, hey, Grayson, good luck in round 4. Can't wait to see you there. And congratulations on your win here tonight.
All right, thank you.
Yep, see you, buddy. All right, with that, we're going to go ahead and pull up our overall and pro winner, Alex Bahari. Alex, you got a copy here, buddy? I hear the drink there. Is that water, I hope?
Yes. How y'all doing?
Good. Hey, Alex, great job, man. Obviously, you kind of got, I wouldn't say luck, but you kind of got a little bit of sign of relief where Michael wasn't going to be behind you there for a bit with his unfortunate mistake. And then obviously at the end there, you had a little bit of Ernie kind of bring down your neck, but it seemed like you had things under control most of the race. Did you feel that way behind the wheel?
Yeah, pretty much ever since the start. Like once I got locked in with the tires and just set my pace down, I wasn't really worried about who was behind me. I just turned the relative off and told myself just to focus forward so I wouldn't make any mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I got to tell you, buddy, KSM Media Racing here has been a force here in USRA. Did you guys kind of expect that coming in, or you feel this is a little surprise to you that how your success has been great early on?
Honestly, bro, like we had no clue coming into this league. Like we knew it was going to be some like pretty good fast guys in here, and that's what we've been met with, but I didn't think we would perform this well. Like I'm really proud of my guys. All the time they put into the cars really paying off now.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys have looked good out
Yeah,
front and
absolutely.
driving your own races.
Yeah, it just comes down to like we've driven so much stuff, all the endurance races, and then all our little hosteds that it just comes down to like just doing the same thing over and over again. Just what you know.
Yeah. And so I asked this, and obviously the flow of this track, does it make you feel more comfortable that it's a rhythm track, it's momentum? There's not really much variance in the sense of how you're going to drive it. You got to obviously react to people pressuring you, but being out front, you usually kind of have that clear line of sight where you're going, unless you have the traffic in front of you. But did you feel comfortable because of that? You just kind of stayed on your line, and you didn't really have to worry for traffic unless they're going to make a kind of a bold move.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Like it's a pretty flowy track, so you just had to time it when you overtook anyone. But I knew as long as I stayed in my rhythm, I'd be able to just stay out in front. And I also knew that if I made a little mistake, that I was screwed. So I just made sure to just keep it on the whole time.
I like that you
Absolutely.
mentioned you turn the relative off to not focus behind you and to focus ahead of you. That's really important when keeping rhythm, especially on a track like this where it's all about the flow.
Yeah, I have a nasty habit of like checking it all the time, like mid-turn, off the turn, into the turn. Usually that messes me up. So I was like, nah, after Zandvoort turning that off, I do not want to
Yeah,
make any more mistakes.
it's so easy to stare at the relative out of every corner to make sure you've got an exit that they're not going to pull up behind you on the straightaway with.
Yeah, it messes with your mind. Like, it's like a very dynamic thing. Like you're never gonna pull away every time or, just pull away all the time. Like they're gonna gain a little bit and you're gonna pull away a little bit. So if you're constantly looking at that thing and you see the time going down, you're gonna get nervous. Or if you see it going up, you're gonna get a little too relaxed. So I was like, I'm turning that off because I noticed myself looking at it too much at the start.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Alex, congratulations on the overall and the pro win. We're really proud of you. You did a great job, buddy. So go ahead and we'll give you a little bit of time here to say thanks to the people that make this happen for you.
So first off, thanks USRA for hosting this whole league. I know a lot of work went into it, so thank you guys for setting this up for us. And huge thank you to KSM Production for allowing me to race here as well, for paying for my entry, and as well as Kai for sending me a Moza a few months ago. So that's definitely helped me out in the long run. But the shout out to the whole crew, like those are my boys. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, Alex, thanks so much, buddy. We appreciate the little shout out there. We're trying our best here. We had a little bit of a snafu tonight, with last minute changes, but I think we were able to counter it pretty well. So, but thanks, Alex. Congratulations, dude.
Thank you guys.
Well, that will do it for us, everyone. Next week, next Thursday, October 2nd, we will have a driver's choice race. So that track has not been announced yet. That poll is going to go out here soon to our drivers. They're going to select what they want to take on next Thursday. So be on the lookout. We'll be back here next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for another hour and 5 minutes of great close racing. We thank you for joining us. Next time, you will not hear my ugly voice. You will hear John Ross's voice. Thank you, Tyler. Tyler, is there anything you want to say? This is your debut for the booth. So are you excited about this?
It is, yeah. It's been a lot more fun than I thought. I do have some stuff to work on, obviously, but for us throwing this together last minute and hopping in, I think it turned out well.
I agree. Well, with that, stay classy, YouTube.